Lessons. Welcome to Rocksmith. So, you're already pretty familiar with Rocksmith, but would you like to brush up on the basics before... Well then, welcome aboard. Now, how experienced would you say you are at playing guitar or bass? Think mostly about the one you want to play first today. Alright, now let's choose what kind of... Do you plan on playing? Give this one a... Awesome. Let's move on. We're gonna bring up a calibration meter here in a second. When you see it, play your strings hard and fast to make some noise. Do that until we tell you to stop. Then cover the strings to mute them. Okay, here goes. Get ready. Now make some noise. Remember, keep strumming harder. Now, mute the strings. Great job. Okay, now tuning. Let's start with a low E string. That's the one that's thickest and closest to you. It's highlighted red in the game. The tuner tells you if the note's too low or too high. Then you turn the matching tuning peg to adjust it until the needle is right in the middle. If the needle moves the wrong way, turn the other direction. Now, go ahead and get your low E string in tune. Now let's tune the other strings. The next one down is the next one after that is the D string. It's now the G string in orange. The next to last string is the B string. And finally, the high E string in purple. All right, sounds great. Now, let's play each string one more time, just to double check that you're good to go. Okay, let's get this show on the road and play some actual notes. So this is a note. It's yellow, which means the A string. Remember, the A string is the second thickest one. Now it's coming down the second lane, so you're gonna play the second fret. That means you put your finger right here, 2 spaces up. Let's start from the headstock and count the spaces between the metal strips. 1, 2, and that's where your finger goes. When the note gets all the way down to the front of the screen, pick the string to play it. Now, you give it a shot. Press your finger down on the second fret of the A string. When the note reaches the bottom of the screen, play the A string. For now, the note will wait there for you until you play it. Great job! You can also just play the string without pressing anything down. That's called an open note. Check out the horizontal line coming down the screen. That means you play the open string. It's yellow again, so this is an open A. Let's go ahead and play that open A. Like before, we'll wait for you to find the right note. Nice! Now, let's try playing a few notes in a row. A run of notes like this is called a riff. Don't worry if you miss a note. We'll wait for you to find the right one. Sweet. It sounds like you're getting the hang of it. Now you're ready to take on Rocksmith. Let's take a minute to get your strap attached and adjusted just right. Most guitars have 2 metal buttons for connecting your strap. There's usually one at the bottom and one here at the opposite corner. Not all guitars have the strap buttons in these exact locations, so you might have to adjust accordingly. Now, let's attach the strap to the bottom button. If your strap has this thing you slide to adjust the length, you might want to attach the end closest to that thing to the bottom so it doesn't dig into your shoulder. Then you just attach the other end to the other button. Make sure the strap doesn't fold back over the button or get twisted up. You want the strap to lay flat. The slits in the strap might be a little tight, so it might be tough to squeeze the buttons through at first, especially if the strap's new. Now, just take a minute to adjust the strap. Once it's in a good place, you're ready to rock. Let's start with the most basic part of picking technique, how to hold your pick. Curl the fingers of your picking hand into a loose fist and rest the pick right on the last knuckle of your index finger. Then just let your thumb rest on top of the pick. You don't have to squeeze too hard. You want the pick to be able to pivot a bit between the fingers as it picks the strings. There are two huge things to keep in mind when it comes to picking notes on the guitar. Number one is no tension. You play with tension, you'll get tired faster, you'll make more mistakes, and if you do it long enough, you can do real damage to yourself. So keep it relaxed. If you feel yourself tensing up, take a break, shake it out, and start over. Number two is what we call economy of motion. That just means you don't do any more than you have to. Even the thickest guitar strings are only a fraction of an inch thick, so you just need a very tiny motion to get your pick from one side of the string to the other. No need to overdo it. Let's start with a basic downstroke. That just means you pick down through the string. Start with the pick above the string you want to pick. It can rest on the string until you're actually ready to play it. Now, push the pick right through it. The pick can then rest on the next string down. Now, when you learn upstrokes too, you'll be able to play twice as many notes with the same motion. An upstroke is exactly what it sounds like. You play the string by pulling the pick up through it. All the motion happens in the wrist. It's just a tiny rotation, not a huge movement. And remember, when you're playing electric guitar, you don't have to pick it hard to make it loud. That's the amp's job. Now, when it comes to picking, one of the best things you can learn starting out is alternate picking. That just means you're going to pick down, up, down, up, down, up all the time. The key is that you always go down on down beats and up on up beats. Even if you leave a note out, your hand still keeps going down and up just as if you had played a note there anyway. You'd also keep this going if you did a hammer-on or pull-off or something like that. You don't pick the string on the hammer-on, but your picking hand still goes up on that note, just as if you had played it, so when it's time to play a downstroke, you're ready to go. This is how you get to where you can play those fast passages with lots of notes. It's not the only approach to picking out there, but it's definitely the best place to start, and a good habit to pick up early on. When we talk about shifting, we just mean moving your hand up and down the neck to different positions. But before we get to that, let's take a quick sec and get to know your guitar a little better. Most guitars use dots or some other kind of inlay to mark certain frets. They're usually marked on both the fretboard and the upper side of the neck. The first dot is usually on the 3rd fret. Go ahead and find that on your guitar. Let's just play the 3rd fret on the low E string, the thickest string, highlighted in red. try it now. Nice! There will probably also be dots or inlays on the 5th, 7th, and 9th frets. Let's find those. Outstanding. Sweet. Perfect. The next one up is the 12th fret, usually marked with a double dot. The 12th fret is special because notes 12 frets apart are what we call an octave higher. That means it's the same note, just at a higher pitch. Same thing with the 3rd and 15th frets. 12 frets apart, so it's another octave. Notice the dot pattern above the 12th fret just repeats the pattern from the lower frets. The dots above the 12th fret are the 15th, 17th, 19th, and 21st. Don't worry, as you play more, these fret numbers will become second nature, and you'll be able to quickly tell which upper dots are an octave higher than the lower ones. Let's try that. You got that one down. Nice one. Nice. Now here's a riff that will take some shifting to play. Here's the riff again. Listen to it, then play it. Now your turn. Let's try that again. Here's that riff again. Let's slow it down for a minute. Nice, you're back to full speed now. Amazing. Here's another one with a little more shifting to it. Listen to this riff one more time before you play it. Play it now. You got that one down. You're ready to apply this to a practice track now. Here goes. dazzling performance. Okay, let's talk about sustains. You play a sustain just like any other note, but instead of cutting it off, let it ring out. Try it now. Outstanding. Here's a riff with that sustain in it. Here's that riff again, but let's just listen to it. You can play after that. Now your turn. That was some top-shelf music making right there. You're ready to apply this to a practice track now. Here goes. Flawless performance. All right, time for some slides. Slides are pretty straightforward. Just play a note like usual, then keep your finger pressed down and slide up to the next note. Now you try it. Nailed it. Now let's try sliding down the neck. We'll use a different finger this time. This is pretty much the same thing we just did, but in reverse. Let's try that. You've got that one down. All right, let's use that slide to play a riff. Here's the riff again. Listen to it, then play it. Play it now. Sweet. Now let's play another riff that has two slides, one going up and one going down. Here's that riff again, but let's just listen to it. You can play after that. Okay, try playing it now. That was almost too perfect. Okay, now let's put it all together in a song. Here goes. Superb performance. Lessons. Okay, one of the most typical guitar-sounding things you can do is bending the strings. Bending the string makes the notes pitch higher. The more you bend, the higher it goes. For now, let's just do a little one, what's called a half step. Let's try that. Perfect. Here's a riff using that half step bend. Listen to this riff one more time before you play it. Now your turn. That was good. Let's try a bend that's a little bigger, a whole step bend, starting from the 12th fret this time. Let's try that. Nicely done. Now check out this riff with a whole step bend, starting on the 14th fret. Here's the riff again. Listen to it, then play it. Now your turn. Nailed it. As a general rule, you want to bend the string in the direction that gives you the most room. That means that the high E, B, and G strings will get pushed up, but the low E, A, and D strings will actually get pulled down. Here's what that looks like. Let's just try that. I think you're on the wrong string there. Amazing. Cool. Let's put that bend into a riff now. Here's the riff again. Listen to it, then play it. Okay, try playing it now. That was almost too perfect. You're ready for the practice track now. Here goes. All right, performance. Tone designer. Lessons. You can really spice up your playing with hammer-ons and pull-offs. Let's take hammer-ons for starters. After you play one note, you can play another one by just pressing your finger down without picking again. Now your turn. Great job. Let's put that hammer-on into a riff. Here's that riff again, but let's just listen to it. You can play after that. Play it now. Outstanding. All right, now for the hammer-on's evil twin, the pull-off. It's really not bad at all. You just play a note, then release it with a tiny pluck to play the lower note without re-picking. Okay, you play now. Right on. Nice. Let's try playing a riff using that pull-off. Here's the riff again. Listen to it, then play it. Now your turn. Let's try that again. Nice one. The fun really starts when you start connecting hammer-ons and pull-offs in a row. All you're gonna do here is put the hammer-on and pull-off together. That's 3 notes for the price of 1. Play it now. That was almost too perfect. Here's the kind of riff you can get using hammer-ons and pull-offs together. Here's the riff again. Listen to it, then play it. Play it now. Let's try that again. Sweet. You're ready for the practice track now. Here goes. Decent performance.